like to call to order the Planning Commission meeting of June 17th, 2024. Lynn, can you roll call, please?
Mr. Shipley, Mr. Walker,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hogler,
Yes.
Mr. Cohen, Mr. Shebeck.
Present. If you could join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome everyone. We're going to begin our meeting with our work session. Item number 1 on the work session is lot split consolidation, 9385 Shepherd Road, permanent parcel 6401251. Tom Bichetico and Derek Burdiz. I'm sorry if I messed those up.
You're good. Tom and Derek is fine.
Okay, well, gentlemen, if you want to discuss what you're here for, to get from the receive from the Planning Commission tonight, please move forward.
Okay, yeah, we have a lot property on Shepherd Road. It's 4.5 acres, and we're looking to split that 4.5 acres into 4 lots. And 2 of the lots are flag lots, and 2 of the front lots are rectangle size, regular lots. The 2 flag lots obviously need approval of variances. So we're here to get the Planning Commission to give us a conditional approval until we get the zoning board to approve the variances.
Okay. And you folks were here before us on, I guess, a
February.
information-seeking mission.
Yeah, it was February or March. It was a
Here in
long time ago.
February and March,
Yeah.
and then we were requested by the engineering department to get a letter from DOS about the sewer connection, and it took DOS a couple months to get us a letter, and he had an overload. The engineer said he had a stack on his desk, and he would get to me, and it took him 2 months, and he got to me and wrote me the letter, and that letter's included in the package. So they gave us, a green light on being able to connect each of those 4 lots into the sewer, which is also, the sewer is right on Shepherd Road, on the opposite side, but on Shepherd Road.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
So you brought, I think, as I recall, when you came before us before, you brought 3 different options. I believe we had a lot of discussion, and I think this was like not the most perfect option for that the Planning Commission wanted to consider, but I see you moved forward with it. The only concerns I have is just the long-term effects. So you have some stormwater management things that you'll have to deal with on this. But the 2 issues I see with the flag lots is just basically the lot driveway length. And I know you're trying to maximize the property, and I get that. But just my perception of the whole thing, to build a home looking into somebody's backyard with a driveway that's going to be probably close to 400 feet long. I don't know if that's attractive, but I mean, if that's what you want to go with it. The only other issue I have is that I hope the folks understand on those parcel A and parcel D that grinder pump situation, having to pump the sewage out, it can be a maintenance issue over time. So unfortunately, and this is nothing against you folks, it just happens with anybody who develops. You guys come in, you build, and you're gone, and then the city gets stuck with all the complaints and the services and whatnot afterwards, and they're going to be expecting, well, what do I do? It's like, well, that's part of your thing. So I'm not a big fan of it, but it is your property, and you have the right to bring it forward. So I guess it is what it is. So I'll defer to my colleagues, Mr. Cohen. Mr. Kogler.
We have the nameplates messed up to confuse you, Steve.
Kogler.
Oh, yeah. No, good. All the points that you're making, I agree with. It's, I understand what they're trying to do, but those are valid points.
Mr. Walker, anything?
I've got no objections. You seem like competent adults, and you have a plan for this, and you've been advised of the potential risk, and you'll do so accordingly. No further objection.
Nothing additional, thank you, sir.
Okay, very good. Lynn, anything else to add?
So I've taken an informal survey of people I cross paths with in City Hall and so on and so forth. And the general consensus is that everyone loves the lots to the rear. If they were going to pick one,
Sure.
they would pick the one off the road. I kind of feel the same way, but taking care of that driveway length would be beyond me at this point. It's for somebody more industrious than I am right now, but generally speaking, people like the lots
Okay.
that sit back in there. Just the privacy of it, the distance off of the roadway, and maybe you like it a lot less after you're living there and you've got to clear that driveway. And there's a problem with your grinder pump. I don't know.
And then you got to drive your trash. I see my neighbors, they drive their trash to the front and back.
No, I mean, it is a great location.
Yeah.
And for this configuration, and you know.
I think just like anything, there's pluses and minuses,
Yeah,
but.
I mean, I know we talked about the 3 lots, all fronting on the road, but then they'd be very deep bowling alley lots. So, I mean, I get, you're trying to maximize your property and development, so.
Yeah, to address your point, yeah, I agree, but our consensus too is that the deeper lots are kind of like, we had a family show interest, you know, we don't even have them for sale, and, you know, but they were interested in the deeper lot because they had children, and so that keeps them away.
Yep.
And the size of the lots help, you know, they're going to be each an acre at least, you know, so it kind of keeps that density, so you're not really looking into their, you know, backyard. I mean, it's going to be, you know, a couple hundred feet from the house.
I would suspect you wouldn't be here if you didn't think you had something, so.
Yeah.
And the snowplow contractor might get some 2 good contracts out of this at least.
So, yeah, we've kind of locked down as much as possible at this point the sanitary sewer connections in Macedonia, and the only outstanding item would be stormwater management facilities, and either through a deed restriction or an easement that is recorded, but some mechanism for recording those facilities. So moving forward, there is a recorded record of what facilities are on those lots.
Okay, well, it sounds like everybody's done their homework on it, so any other questions for anybody? All right, gentlemen, we'll get back to you in the regular portion of the meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Item number 2 is rezoning southwest corner of East Aurora Road and Chamberlain Road, permanent parcel 64,000,589. Robert Benjamin.
Yes, this is Robert Benjamin. I'm Ken Fisher. I'm the attorney for the applicant, Developers Diversified, and good evening. On a previous occasion, Robbie and I met with Lynn, the mayor, your very fine law director, and discussed the potential to rezone this parcel located on the corner of East Aurora Road and Chamberlain from the current zoning of C2 Community Commercial District to R5 Single Family, consistent with what Ryan Holmes, who's here this evening, previously constructed on the other side of 82. The concept is this would be transitional zoning that would allow for empty nesters in the city to be able to move into a situation, not necessarily smaller, but, you know, compatible situation with first floor master and other amenities, again, as a transitional type of zoning. The parcel itself is 12.3 acres. I believe that perhaps the commission is familiar. It sits on the outskirts of the city. It abuts the park in Macedonia. There are no residents other than what beautiful homes that Ryan built across the street that are in the immediate vicinity. On or about May 24th, the application was timely filed in order to make the agenda for tonight's meeting with the building department. And again, it included a vicinity map, zoning analysis by Julie Linder, AICP, discussing without limitation how the proposed zoning relates to the goals and objectives of the current comprehensive plan. With all respect, I know Lynn disagrees, but again, there are some issues on the site plan that was submitted, which does provide for a total of 38 units with a cul-de-sac, and again, there are some issues with the site plan which would require, assuming the rezoning is approved by the electorate, both citywide and in the ward, based on your charter where the property is located, there'd be subsequent review of that site plan and the potential perhaps to apply for it would take two area variances, one in regard to the proposed density, and that again is flexible, very flexible, as well as the cul-de-sac issue, which again is flexible and would be resolved administratively, again, if in fact the voters approve both citywide and in the ward the proposed zoning. The floor plan that was submitted, again, for illustration purposes only, through Ryan Homes, and Mark Katcher, the land manager, is here tonight with a very fine builder who perhaps could maybe talk at some point if you want to hear. There's two models. One would be the Eden K model, approximately 1,723 square feet with the basement, or 1,696 as a slab, as well as the Dominica Spring dwelling model, which consists of approximately 1,720 square feet with a basement, or 1,694 square feet, both of which meet your minimum building size requirements in your code. And again, we're looking for a recommendation. Council did, at the last council meeting, introduce the rezoning ordinance on first reading. Referral tonight, obviously, to Planning Commission. We're looking for a recommendation with the actual public hearing. There'll be second reading in between, and then the public hearing is scheduled for July 9th. Prior to council's meeting, and there'd be a vote, assuming again on the recommendation, which hopefully we're able to receive tonight, for adoption or rejection, but that will be up to council after the public hearing, and again, more review by the various city officials. Robbie, want to add?
Yes, thank you, Kenny. I've been working on this project for a long time. You know, I have, I don't think I had gray hair the first time I came in here, but we've tried it all. We've been before you a few times. And, you know, we originally rezoned it from industrial to commercial with the hope to do some commercial on both sides of the street. And then that was in 08, 09 when things went kind of south.
Yeah.
So we came in with both rezonings at one time on both sides of the street for residential. The mayor at the time, I think, was Kathy Prokop, and they said, bring it in the one. We'll go with that one, get that rezoned, come back with the second one, and try to get that rezoned as well. So the first one went fine. We worked with Ryan Homes on that for 30 lots. I think they sold that during COVID, I think out in about 6 months. This side of the street we tried a few years ago during COVID, and that did fail. But I think talking to the administration in the last few weeks and last few meetings, that this empty nester product would be a potential good a solution in that trying to keep people to stay in Twinsburg that maybe have been here before with family homes, kids have been through the schools, and now they're ready to downsize, but they want to stay in the community. So I think this product ranches a lot of people, a lot of developments that, you know, Ryan is doing, that we're doing. People are looking for that first floor master, which, you know, I certainly would be happy with as I get older, and I think it would be something that would fit in very well with the community. So those are my thoughts, and I don't know if anybody else wants to add anything, but we certainly hope for the recommendation. Thank you.
From Ryan, they are here to answer any questions, and they would. The full anticipation is that Ryan would be the builder of these units, and again, it would be high quality, consistent with what Ryan built on the other side of 82, with models that comply fully with your minimum floor space.
Yeah, well, while we appreciate them being here, I think we're just looking at the zoning request.
Correct.
So once if that gets approved, then we'll be back to, you know, looking at the plot plan and layout and everything. I mean, you've provided us a ton of information, which I think is very good. It's been a difficult property. It's coming full circle because in the 70s it was residential because there used to be a home there, and I used to mow their lawn years ago. Anyhow, but it went from residential to industrial to commercial. Now we want to go back to and I get it. And trying to find a fit for it. But, that's totally up to the voters, so,
No, it is, and I did want to say, echo one thing that Robbie said. Robbie's been working with the Wolstein family for many years, and they build quality products. What Robbie's been involved with for many years are quality products. If there was any way to develop this parcel as currently zoned, we wouldn't be standing here. I just want to say that. There is really no economically viable use for this property as currently zoned, which is why we're being somewhat creative and coming back again and asking for the R5. Thanks.
no, I totally understand. I think the Wolstein family has developed half of Twinsburg, if I'm not mistaken, over
I
the
think
years.
Mr. W. did, I think, close to 3,000 homes here.
Yeah.
Building. I think he built that.
And I know, prior to my involvement in the planning commission, you've always been very agreeable to work with the city and partnering and trying to come up with the best designs possible. So, this is, we'll just, if the commission agrees with you, we'll give you a recommendation. We'll send it on to council to get approved. Any Mr. Kogler, any comments?
No, this was very thorough.
Thank you. Mr. Walker?
Nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Barr?
Nope, ultimately up to the voters, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll have you back up here during our regular meeting, and then we'll move on to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our work session. We're going to move on to our regular meeting. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of June 3rd, 2024. Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Shebeck?
Yes.
Mr. Hogler?
Yes.
Okay, minutes from June 3rd are approved. Item number 2 is public participation. Anyone wishing to address the planning commission, please come forward, state your name and your address and what you are here to discuss.
Good evening. My name's Lynn Clark, live on Old Mill Road, and I'm here to discuss the proposed zoning changes, and not all the details, but just a couple of the key facts. Environmental. Seems like in the draft it's being reduced. There's less criteria in there now to protect the environment in the most recent draft than there were in the existing. The city has to embrace change. And part of that needs to be thinking about not where are we today, but where do we want to be in 50 years to 100 years? LEED, Leadership, Energy, Environmental Design, been practiced for probably about 50 years, and it's a great set of standards, and they've got a module in there speaking particularly to urban development and how that can be done and still walk gently on the earth. There was one notable omission. There's several different approvals saying if the city is going to approve a particular parcel for development, Ohio EPA, Corps of Engineers, but what seemed to be missing was Summit Soil and Water Conservation District. Now, I know getting an approval from them has not stopped this city from approving proposals previously, but that should be in there. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark.
All right, anyone else wishing to address the commission tonight? Seeing none, we'll close public participation. We'll move on to item 3, lot split consolidation, 9385 Shepherd Road, if the applicants would come forward. And I apologize, there's not a consolidation, it's just a lot split.
Yeah, lots of, right.
That's our bad, yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, unless we have questions for us, or...
All right, anything else from any of the members? All right, I'd like to make the following motion. Upon reliance of representations made by the applicant and the representative, oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Upon reliance of representative made by the applicants and their representatives, along with the submitted application for a lot split of permanent parcel number 64-01251, date stamp received May 29th, 2024, I move that the Planning Commission approve the requested action with the following conditions. Item 1, variance requests necessary for the proposed lot configurations are approved under a separate application made with the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals. Number 2, stormwater management facilities and a long-term maintenance agreement associated with development of the lots are approved by the city engineer and are recorded with Summit County. Do I have a second to that?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Shebeck?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Hogler?
Yes.
All right, your item passed 3-0. You'll move on to council for approval.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
you.
You're welcome.
All right, item number 2 is the rezoning request for the southwest corner of East Aurora Road and Chamberlain Road, permanent parcel number 64,000,589. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
All right. And I'd like to make the following motion. Upon reliance on representation made by the applicant and their representatives, along with the submitted application for rezoning from Developers Diversified for permanent parcel number 64-00589, date stamped, received May 24, 2024, I move that Planning Commission recommend to City Council approval of the requested zoning amendment from C2 Community Commercial District to R5 Single Family Cluster District. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Walker. Any further discussion from the commission?
Call question.
I'm sorry?
Call the question.
Yes, sir.
No, call the question, like to vote on the question.
We don't understand, Michael. Okay. Mr. Shebeck?
You all apparently were never on an FFA parliamentary procedure team.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Hogler?
Yes.
All right, your item passed 3-0.
Thank you very
On
much.
to council for
Thank you very
approval.
much. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, item number 5, communications and miscellaneous. Lynn, what do we have coming up?
Okay, I have a completed application for the extra lease storage lot. That one's been a long time coming back at you. So we're putting the finishing touches on that. We should have it before you in August, unless for some reason a special meeting crops up that I don't,
That's the one on 90.
on 91.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I said they were working on the lot and then
Yeah.
now
It got
it's,
hung up in the Army Corps. There were some small wetlands that took some time. The owner is now looking at filling that rear portion of the lot because it really drops off there. So,
Court issues determination yet?
yeah, yes. There's a retaining wall associated with the project now. The whole thing's really been, it's engineered to be probably at a 2% slope, so it's turned into quite
So made some
the
change.
parking lot. Yeah,
You know if Corps approved it under a nationwide permit? Or how
I
did-
believe so.
Do you remember which one off the top of your head? If you don't, that's
no.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
I could send it to you, though. I think I have a copy of it.
No worries.
Actually, yeah, I have binders. I could give you that before we leave tonight.
No worries.
That's all I know of for the August meeting.
okay, nothing else on the agenda or on the horizon?
No, not anything that I'm working on currently.
All right. Mr. Hogler, anything?
No, good.
Mr. Walker, anything?
Do we have any July dates?
No July dates at this time.
And the August date is? Just refresh my memory, I'm sorry.
No, I have it right here. I don't need a memory.
I need it.
August 19th.
Okay, I'm good. And thanks for whoever, I think it was Mr. Shebeck who moved from my absence last week. Thanks for letting me enjoy vacation.
No worries.
I'm just not sure if, as our zoning update document moves through council hearings and public notices, if there's any scenario where that document would come back for reconsideration. I don't think so, but doesn't seem like it would be out of the realm of possibilities. But if that scenario would occur, I'd get a hold of you guys and see if we could seat a quorum in July, potentially.
Okay. And the public hearing on the amendment is in July?
The
Correct.
9th is this one, right? Tonight, the 82 in Chamberlain rezoning. And the 11th
Is
is the
zoning.
special meeting, 6:30, Thursday.
Yep. I saw that
Yeah.
on the calendar.
Yeah.
The unique, just to point that out.
Mr. Barr, anything else?
Other than that, no, sir. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
No. So, and we have no meetings in July, we're on
Right.
recess.
Right, so maybe, yeah.
19th is our next one. Very good. Need a motion to excuse Mr. Shipley and Mr. Cohen.
I've been making all the motions.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Make a motion.
Second. Mr. Walker, seconds. Roll call?
Mr. Hogler?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes.
Mr. Shebeck?
Yes. Mr. Shipley's bouncing across Ireland.
Yes, I know. right?
Young lad.
All right.
Okay, we are adjourned at 7:25.